Who was Jose Rizal? His full name is Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Rialonda. He was born in Calamba, Laguna, Philippines on June 19, 1861 and died at the age of 35 on December 30, 1896 at Bagong Bayan or Rizal Park in Manila. His father is Francisco Mercado and his mother is Teodora Alonso Rialonda y Quintos. Rizal is a brilliant student who became proficient in multiple languages such as Spanish, French, Latin, Greek, German, Portuguese, Italian, English, Dutch, and Japanese. Rizal is also made translations from Arabic, Swedish, Russian, Chinese, Greek, Hebrew, and Sanskrit. He translated the poetry of Schiller into his native Tagalog. In addition, he had at least some knowledge about Malay, Chavacano, Cebuano, Ilocano, and Subanon. Jose Rizal is a romantic man. There were 9 women linked with Rizal and their names are Segunda Katigbak, Leonor Valenzuela, Leonor Rivera, Consuelo Ortega, O. Seisan, Gertrude Beckett, Nelly Bausted, Susan Jacobi, and Josephine Bracken. Those women might have been attracted to Rizal because of his intelligence and charm.
Educational background of Jose Rizal. The first teacher of Rizal was his mother. She found out that Rizal had a talent for poetry, so she is the one who encouraged Rizal to write a poem. Aside from his mother, his 3 uncles also mentored him. His uncle Jose taught him painting, sketching, and sculpture, while Uncle Gregorio influenced him to read. Uncle Manuel, for his part, developed Rizal's physical skills in martial arts like wrestling. Rizal also experienced a homeschool, so he has 3 private tutors. And after that, Rizal sent to a private school in Benyan, Laguna, and his brother Pasiano brought him to the school of Maestro Cristiano Aquino Cruz. Rizal beat all the Benyan boys when it comes to academic. He surpassed them all in Spanish, Latin, and other subjects. In 1872, Rizal enrolled in Ateneo Municipal de Manila. He belonged to the class composed of Spaniards, Mestizos, and Filipinos. Rizal also wants to improve his Spanish learning, so he took private lessons in Santa Isabel College. During his 4th year in Ateneo, he received 5 medals and graduated as one of the 9 students declared sobresaliente. In 1877, Rizal continued his study and enrolled in the University of Santo Tomas, taking the course of the Philosophy in Letters during his first year. At the same time, he took in Ateneo a land surveyor and assessor's degree. It is a vocational course. But suddenly, he shifted to medicine, specializing in ophthalmology, when he found out that his mother was going to blind. Rizal also take a pre-med course. He is one who got a privilege of taking a preparatory course in the first year of medicine. Rizal also received his 4-year practical training in medicine at the Hospital de San Juan de Dios in Intramuros. In 1882, he boarded on Salvador bound for the Singapore. Rizal enrolled degree in the licentiate in medicine in 1884 and degree of philosophy and letters in 1885 at the Universidad Central de Madrid. Jose Rizal began writing a Noli Me Tangere in Madrid. He also attended classes in the University of Paris, and in 1887 he completed his eye specialization course at the University of Heidelberg. It is also that year that Rizal's first novel was published in Berlin. Jose Rizal lived in Europe for 10 years. He could converse in more than 10 different tongues. Jose Rizal is a smart guy. He is passionate when it comes to learning, and he spent his time learning different things not just for himself, but for the other people in order to help them.
Educational background of Jose Rizal. The first teacher of Rizal who taught him how to read and pray was his mother, Doña Chodora. His mother discovered that he has a talent in poetry and she encouraged him to write poems. Later on, 3 private tutors taught Rizal Spanish and Latin before he entered a private school located in Binyan. In June 1869, Rizal lived in Binyan together with his older brother named Pasiano. When he was already 11 years old of age, he entered Ateneo Municipal de Manila. During his 4th year in Ateneo, he received 5 medals and graduated as a sobresaliente and received the degree of Bachelor of Arts with highest honors and not a valedictorian. After graduating, he continued his study in UST. He finished a year in philosophy and letters, and later on, he decided to shift to a medical course during his first term in 1877 to 1878 in UST. He studied cosmology, metaphysics, theodicy, and history of philosophy. It was during the school term of 1878 to 1879 that Rizal pursued his studies in medicine because he wanted to be a physician to be able to cure his mother falling eyesight. Also, Rizal received his 4th year practical training in medicine at the Hospital de San Juan de Dios in Intramuros. During his last year at the university, Rizal had obtained the global grade of notable in all of his subjects. After that, Rizal decided to study in Spain. His departure for Spain was kept secret from Spanish authorities, friars, and even his parents, especially his mother's, because she would not allow him to go. To be able to not recognize, he used the name Jose Mercado Rizal, earned a licentiate in medicine at the Universidad Central de Madrid, where he also took courses in philosophy and literature. It was in Madrid that he conceived of writing Noli Me Tangere. He also attended the University of Paris and in 1887 completed his eye specialization course at University of Heidelberg. It was also in that year that Rizal's first novel was published in Berlin. That's all.
Ito'y ilan sa mga trivia na about kay Dr. Jose Rizal. Unang trivia. Alam niyo bang si Rizal ang siyang gumamot sa kanyang sarili sa sakit niya na tuberculosis? Pangalawa, alam niyo rin bang magaling si Rizal sa halos lahat ng subject bukod sa iisang subject, kundi ang music? Tatlo, alam niyo rin bang itinuturing din na father of Philippine comics si Rizal dahil sa kanyang sketches at drawing sa Germany? At panghuli, alam niyo rin bang bukod sa Noli Me Tangere at El Pili, may pangatlong nobela na hindi pa natapos si Jose Rizal? Ito'y pinamagatang Makamisa.
Hello po everyone, my name is John Joshua Gallo and my topic is all about interesting thing about Rizal. So we proceed. Jose Rizal dated his cousin. Jose Rizal was engaged with his distant cousin Leonor Rivera, whom she met when he was 19 years old and the girl on age of 13. Leonor is his first love. Rizal was in a video game character in Medal of Honor and Tekken. He appears as a secret character in a multiplayer mode alongside other historical figures like William Shakespeare and Winston Churchill. And he also appeared as one of his fighter character that was inspired by Rizal. Although female, the character was Jose Rizal, whose main armament is or was arnis and kickboxing. Her outfit bore the colors of the Philippine flag, and the ornament in her waist is sampaguita. Rizal established a school where 21 pupils taught without paying. Rizal did not like to get paid, but in return to his teaching, he said to his 21 students that working for the community is quite enough. Rizal had to pawn ring in order to study. That ring was given by Saturnina, her loving sister, to pay for Rizal's exam. The Rizal Monument in Luneta was not made by a Filipino artist. The design was the work of Swiss sculptor Richard Kisling. Due to the love for his family, he just mentioned how excellent he was way back then. That's all, thank you po.
Literary works of Rizal. Dr. Jose Rizal was a poet, essayist, and novelist who wrote prolifically. He has a number of works that are well known among Filipinos. He wrote essays such as El Amor Patrio, poetry such as Felicitacion, plays, and novels. After its publication in Germany in 1887, Jose Rizal's most renowned and first written novel, No Le Me Tangere or Touch Me Not, attracted attention to the Philippines' unfair Spanish rule. The plot delves into the society of the Philippines during the Spanish colonial period, highlighting the aristocracy behind poverty and imperialist oppression. The work sparked outrage among Filipinos who had also been subjected to Spanish abuse at the time of its release. No Le Me Tangere was followed by El Filibusterismo or The Reign of Greed, which was published in Ghent in 1891. It is the continuation of Nolly's accusations of the Spanish government's abuses and corruption. This tale is dedicated to the three Filipino priests, namely Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora, or also known as Gomburza, and their martyrdom. They were executed by Spaniards for defending the rights of Filipino priests. Both novels is still widely read all over the world and were originally written in Spanish, but are more frequently published in Tagalog and English.
Rizal was a physician, poet, essayist, and novelist. No Le Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo was his most famous novels that he wrote that until now are still being tackled in schools, especially in the Philippines. On February 1886, Rizal went to Heidelberg, Germany to work at the University Eye Hospital of Dr. Becker. Dr. Becker was a professor of ophthalmology at the University of Heidelberg. Rizal worked as an assistant of Dr. Becker for 6 months. Rizal's job at the University Eye Hospital was to examine the patients who come every day. Through this work, Rizal got to be trained and practiced in medical field while he was being monitored by Dr. Becker and corrects his mistakes during the training. In 1887, Rizal went back to Paris. He traveled through Europe where he learned additional knowledges about ophthalmology from different scientists and ophthalmologists. Rizal worked with the ophthalmologist named Ernst Fuchs for a short period of time. After coming back to Paris, Rizal came back to Calamba, Laguna to fulfill his dreams of taking care of his mother's eye. In 1892, Rizal successfully done a surgery in his mother's eye in Hong Kong, which Rizal then realized how it's hard to take care of a family member as his mother kept disobeying Rizal's instruction regarding the surgery.
A life lesson I learned from Rizal. First is, against all odds, Rizal manifested the highest virtues being a Filipino. He struggled and won in the face of the most difficult situation, and inspired the Katipuneros to revolt, and thereby he helped found the first independent Republic of Asia. Second is, focus on your goal. Fighting injustice in society was Rizal's sole motto. Night and day, all he dreamed of was to free his fellow Filipino. Rizal became a leader of the reformist movement called Propaganda, an unwavering campaign for political and social freedoms. He wrote non-stop for the La solidaridad, and even wrote two novels to reveal the cruelty of Spanish colonists. And this led to his assassination, but he died as a hero. Third is keep personal life from work while we do not live in such complicated times as Rizal. It is important to keep distraction away from every workday. Rizal was so focused on a workday that he did not allow loved ones or even his own preference or emotion come in way. And last is use your time to the fullest. Rizal spent most of his time in self-improvement via self-education. Not only he was busy academically, but he also learned sculpture, painting, language including German, and keep up with the latest conversation globally in philosophy and science. Even if he was exiled in Dapitan, he used his time in cataloging the local animal kingdom and plants to share with fellow revolutionists.
And now we move on. What is the importance of studying Rizal's life and work? Ano nga ba ang importansya ng pag-aaral ng buhay ni Rizal at ang kanyang mga nagawa para sa bansa natin? Unang-una, ito ay mandated by the law, the Republic 1425 or tinatawag na the Rizal Law, na naglalayong ituro ang buhay at mga nagawa ni Rizal sa bawat eskwelahan para sa mga estudyante. Mula high school pa lang, pinag-aaralan na natin si Rizal at saka yung mga kanyang mga nagawa o mga sulat, mga nasulat. Naalala ko pa noon, gaya ng mga nobela niyang nagawa, gaya ng Nono ng Tangarik, bawat kabanata, pinasusulat sa amin kinakailangan talaga upang magkaroon tayo ng kaalaman tungkol sa nakaraan. At pangalawa, upang isariwa o magbigay pagkilala sa taong nagsiwalat sa masasamang gawain o pang-aabuso ng Kastila noon. At syempre, siya yung ating tinatawag na pambansang bayani. Kinakailangan natin siyang kilalanin at magbigay tribute kasi hindi dahil sa kanya at isa sa mga taong dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon tayo ng kalayaang tinatamasa natin ngayon. Para magkaroon ng kaalaman kung alam mo, hindi tayo maging mangmang kasi kailangan natin kilalanin yung mga taong kilalanin natin siya na isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit may kalayaan tayo tinatamasa ngayon. At pangatlo, para magbigay inspirasyon sa mga kabataang nais din maging manunulat gaya ni Rizal at umulat sa pagkakaroon ng nasyonalismo at patriotism upang mas mahal pa natin ang sarili bayan na gaya ng pagmamahal sa atin ni Rizal. Yun lang. Thank you.